When Kelly Clarkson first performed Chemistry, she struggled to maintain composure. Kelly Clarkson will perform Chemistry for the first time at a one-night-only concert in April at Les Belasco. She is currently halfway through the album. When there is a loud outburst from the audience, she is in the middle of telling the sold-out crowd that the album's title tune is about how two things can mix and produce something beautiful, or react adversely and explode. She initially believes it to be cheering, but it's actually a fan who has fallen asleep. She promptly calls for a doctor. Fortunately, that fan winds up being fine and returns to watch the show 30 minutes later. But even before that uneasy moment, Clarkson has been hitting pause for reasons of her own. Just a few words into her first number, the soaring ballad Skip This Part, she suddenly stops singing its a cappella intro. Already overcome by the first of Chemistry's four tearjerkers, she tells the crowd. After taking a second to collect herself, she jokingly calls out the four-piece string section surrounding her on stage. "If y'all weren't so damn good," she exclaims with a laugh. However, the anxiety is legitimate. Even though today isn't just about Clarkson's most recent orbit of the sun, it is her 41st birthday and there is much to celebrate. She is serenaded with happy birthday twice by supporters wearing party hats, as well as by her band and special guests. Her 7-year marriage to Brandon Blackstock, which ended a few months into the epidemic and made her the subject of numerous headlines as she had a somewhat public divorce, is covered in Chemistry. When she announced the Belasco show on social media, and even on her eponymous Emmy-winning daytime talk show when she first performed the single Mine in April, Clarkson admitted that she went through a lot and was angry and sad while writing the songs for her 10th LP, 14 tracks total. Visuals that have been released for it seem to confirm it. She is clad in black in various photos as well as on the album's cover, an image of her in a pink dress that can be peeled away to each side to reveal her in a black one. On stage for her birthday show, which is being recorded to accompany other visuals she'll put out with the record for a project that will take the place of traditional music videos, Clarkson maintains that mood, looking emo regal in a flowy black dress that sweeps the floor. Her blonde hair longer than what we're used to seeing on her show, more like in the album art. But Clarkson insists she's in a good place now, and, apart from in those brief moments during Skip This Part, the supportive crowd has no reason to believe otherwise. She is more like the daytime host or the mentor we've seen coaching contestants on The Voice the past 5 years. Self-deprecating and funny as she shares anecdotes about how Mama was pissed when she was writing certain tracks, such as Red Flag Collector, which kicks off with a Western movie showdown whistle, or how she was drawn to one that is actually a cover of a song written by Rachel Orsher, and happens to share the name of her Montana ranch, High Road. She promises the album is not about just the divorce, but the whole of her relationship. Sure, Chemistry was born out of its painful conclusion, but there were good times, too. The heartbreak is balanced with happiness. For every emotional gut punch like Mine or its companion single, Me, she offers something a little more dynamic, if not in lyrics then with her production choices. At the Belasco, she dares the crowd not to dance to Favorite Kind of High, a cut she hopes becomes a single that recounts those butterflies you get when you first feel attracted to someone. She says her favorite new song is Magic, about the type of love she thought didn't exist and was just for the movies. Meanwhile, on the lively I Hate Love, she name-checks 2 films, telling the crowd that one of them, It's Complicated, is more like real life, not like that bulls they sell you in the Notebook. The track, which features actor and accomplished banjo player Steve Martin, who also starred in It's Complicated and is mentioned in the song, juxtaposes its pissed-off title with an upbeat country pop vibe. I love that territory. I love hearing something kind of poppy and then it being either angry or super sad. Clarkson tells EW, I also have to use humor as a healing mechanism, a coping mechanism. I do that all the time. So I was writing a love song and I was just angry. I was like, God, why are you still so into something that was so bad? Looking back a week after the concert, Clarkson admits she didn't expect to be so consumed by her feelings but concedes, the emotions kind of murdered me. Her response was especially surprising to her given that the show's 2 nights of rehearsals were tear-free. It was pretty flawless and easy and great, she says. I was almost proud of myself. And then all of a sudden it was just like a wave washed over me. It wasn't, of course, the first time she felt it. A range of anger, heartbreak, and grief revealed itself in the 40 to 50 songs Clarkson penned in the immediate aftermath of her split, and then again and again while working on the album. While she's definitely very honest in the music and wanted it to be what people are probably expecting from her, she reveals that some tracks she wrote were too truth-telling to make the cut and served as a private opportunity for her to vent. I know people will hear this record and be like, oh, damn, she went there. And I'm like, no, I promise you I didn't, she says with a laugh. Chemistry's songwriting may feel familiar to anyone who heard Adele's 30 or Casey Musgrave's Star-Crossed, both released in 2021 and about those artists' divorces. But Clarkson isn't worried about comparisons. All of her songs were written before those albums came out, and, she says, the women's stories and experiences are all different. No matter what album you're listening to, it is kind of nice to have these people that went through stuff that other people are going through, and you just don't feel alone in it, Clarkson says. Because I'll tell you what, that's the worst, when you're in a crowded room where you're smiling for America while doing your job and you just feel so sad and alone. That's the worst feeling ever.